Hey, this is Deepak here from digitaldeepak.com, and in this video I'm going to talk about how do you build a personal brand using email marketing. A lot of people think that building a personal brand means that you have to put your face everywhere. You have to run a lot of ads, you have to have Instagram following with a lot of followers, you need to have a YouTube channel with lakhs or millions of subscribers. But that is not necessarily personal branding, because branding is not the same as visibility, and just because a lot of people know you doesn't mean that you have a strong brand. If that is the case, then politicians will have the strongest personal brands out there. Yes, politicians are known well because they put illegal banners of themselves on the roads and smiling pictures and everything. People might see their face, recall their face, but that is not branding. True branding and growing your brand means that people trust you. So if somebody asks someone, hey, where do I learn digital marketing from? They would probably say Digital Deepak. And the brand Digital Deepak is associated with digital marketing. Not just it is known, but it is also trusted. And you will not develop that trust unless you communicate to your audience and tell a story. Branding is always about storytelling. If you think about Apple, if you think about Tesla, or any big brands like that out there, it is not just about going ahead and recalling that brand or knowing that the brand exists. It's about the trust on the brand, and the trust on the brand mainly depends on the story that the brand has. So what is Apple's story? It is Steve Jobs, right? It is very difficult to think about the Apple brand without thinking of Steve Jobs. It is very difficult to think about the SpaceX or Tesla brand without thinking about Elon Musk. So the people and their story behind these companies matter a lot. So when we talk about Digital Deepak as a brand in the niche of digital marketing, it is not just about people knowing Digital Deepak as a brand. It is about people recommending that brand, people trusting that brand, and people remembering the story behind that particular brand. So I keep telling my story, right? And you probably know my story already. I started out as a motorcycle blogger, and after I did that for 4 years, I worked in multiple different startups as a digital marketing manager. Then I started my digital marketing agency Pixel Track, and then I started my edtech company Learn Today. And I am a digital marketing trainer. Everything that I do is built around my expertise in digital marketing. And why do people recommend Digital Deepak? Because people had a positive experience with the products and services that I have given, and that gives the recommendation, that gives branding. But most importantly, before people transact with me, I also tell them my story, and they remember the story, my timeline of who I am, what I do. And that is what Digital Deepak brand means. And this is even more important for personal brand compared to like a faceless brand, because personal brands, people won't remember unless there is a story behind it. And how do you tell the story? The story is most effectively told via email. And a lot of people think that because of Instagram, because of YouTube, because of social media, they see a lot of noise happening on the social media, and they think that, hey, video images is the new medium. Text is old. But I would like to disagree with that, because there is a special benefit of creating text-based content compared to video-based content, because when people read text-based content, it's very personal to them. And to give you a simple example of why text is more powerful than video, we can think about, let's say Harry Potter book. People who read the Harry Potter book and then watched the movie said that the book is much better. Anytime a movie is made based on a book, the movie is majority watched by people who have not read the book, but people who have read the book and then watched the movie, they always say that the book was better. Why is that? So let's say I am reading the Harry Potter book. I watched the third Harry Potter book. I watched the third movie of Harry Potter for the first time. And before that, I had read the Harry Potter book. I'm talking about The Prisoner of Azkaban, the third book, because when the first book was released, I did not read the book. I went and watched the movie directly, and then I read the book. The third one was the edition of the story where I first read the book and then I went ahead and watched the movie. So when I read the book, I imagined the flying horse, the dragons, or the castles, or whatever it is inside Harry Potter. in my own personal imagination. And my personal imagination and the pictures that I form in my head of whatever I read about is very personal to me. It is based on my life experience. And it sticks to my mind much, much better than watching a movie. Because when you are watching a movie, it is the imagination of the creative director of the movie which is being posted on you, and you don't have any room for imagination. So when I tell my story about how I became a digital marketer, how I started my motorcycle blog, how I worked in different startups, telling the story on email or in a book in writing is more powerful, and people remember it more than people watching a video of me. Yes, there is a significant percentage of audience who also watch videos and who only watch videos, but the people who really matter, the people who take enough time and energy and attention to decide to join my courses, join my training programs, buy a product or service from me, those people are readers. And 90% of the people won't read, only 10% will read, but all your buyers will read. Nobody makes a buying decision without even having a patience to read something. So the best way to build your personal brand is by telling your story on email. But how are you going to tell your story on email? You can't just go out there and say that, hey, just subscribe to my email list and I will send you email about my personal story. You can't do that. People are not going to be necessarily interested in you right off the box. So what I have personally done is that I have run this lead magnet ads where I'm giving away a free course, a free digital marketing course, and I'm running the ads for this on Facebook. People opt in into this lead magnet to download my free course, and my free course is delivered via email in a drip marketing sequence. And if I customize it, it becomes deep marketing, which is something you will see me talk about a lot. Drip marketing is the old method of email marketing. Deep marketing is the new marketing. In deep marketing, I personalize the communication to the reader, and I go ahead and kind of wrap my personal story around the content that I have created. So people come for the content, but they also end up listening to my story. So when they sign up for my free digital marketing course, in the email that I send to them, I also tell how I learned this, what are the projects that I did, how I got to here and the entire journey of it. And this kind of sticks to people's minds. And whenever people think of Digital Deepak, they think about my story. And the story is much more remembered than the name itself. And because of the story, people just can't forget it. Marketing is about storytelling. Storytelling existed way before even written communication existed, right? People have always been transferring communication or concepts or teachings throughout generations by telling stories. Instead of saying that, hey, this is how it is, this is what you should do, they will tell like a parable or a story. And come on, all the religious organizations, I don't want to point out anything specific, but all the religion is about storytelling. It's about somebody there thousands of years back and how he was an amazing person, how he behaved, how he made decisions, what were his ethical and moral principles. And that story is what people remember, and entire religions are built around stories. So when you do this, when you create like a landing page, put the lead magnet on the landing page, drive traffic to this landing page via Facebook ads, Google ads, or any other advertising medium, you start building email subscribers, and you don't market to these email subscribers immediately. You give value, you give free content, and you wrap your story around this free content, and that ends up building a very strong level of brand recall, which means that people know your story. Because they know your story and they have communicated, you have communicated with them. Sometimes they will communicate with you, they will reply to the emails. I recommend replying to those emails back. They build a relationship with you and they build a certain level of trust with you. The trust might not be enough to get them to pay a very large amount right in the beginning, but the trust is enough to do like a small transaction with them. You can sell what is something usually called in the marketing circles as tripwire. A tripwire is basically a small transaction. It could be 499 rupees, it could be $10, it could be 1000 rupees. They will buy an ebook or buy a course from you, and they will basically experience your product. They will pay you money, take a little bit of risk because they already trust you. And if you go ahead and value that trust that they have given you and over deliver on your promises by giving a really high quality content to them or a product, then they are going to trust you even more because they took a little bit of risk. They transacted with you. Maybe 1,000 rupees is not a very big risk, but they did that anyway. And now you are over delivering for them. So you could maybe do like a workshop, like a paid workshop, over deliver value on that workshop. Maybe sell like a small video course, or maybe sell a book and make them happy with the transaction that they have done. Now you have got their trust even more. And in this process, you have also got a window of opportunity to go ahead and tell your story in a much, much better way. And the better storytelling you do, and the better you do it with written content, the better people are going to remember you. And whenever people think of digital marketing, they think of Digital Deepak. Maybe not everyone in the country, but a significant portion of people think of digital marketing, they think Digital Deepak. And this brand has been primarily built through my content and through my writing. And also one more thing that you have to remember is that you are not just going to send one email. When you get them to sign up for a 30-day course or a 25-day course or something like that, you are going to send one email every day for 30 days, which means that every day they receive an email from you, they remember you. And how do we build trust with people? Like, think about your friends from college days, from school days. These friends, you trust them so much because you know them for a very long time. Nobody trusts anyone with a single conversation. You need to have multiple touch points of conversation with them to trust them. So you trust your school friends a lot because you know them for a very long time, and the same trust building process can be applied in digital marketing, through email marketing, through deep marketing, where you keep communicating to them time and time again, keep telling your story time and time again, keep delivering value to them. And over time, the amount of goodwill and trust that you build will be so much that becomes like your bank account, that becomes like your asset. If you want to create a new product or service, you can send an email to them, and they will trust you and they will transact with you, and you don't need to do a hard sell. You can do like a soft sell. So that's what I wanted to share in today's video about the trust building process. Hope you liked this video. Go ahead and subscribe to my channel if you have not already, and leave a comment below about what you think about branding and trust building for a personal brand through email marketing. And I read all the comments and I will reply to your comments as well. And I will see you in the next video. Thank you.